Hello and welcome to today's stream slash video. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I am so happy to present you today's build, which will be something out of the Lego Star Wars series. Um, in particular, it is the set number 75318. It is Grogu from the Mandalorian series, or as Lego has it in its catalog, the child. Alright, so I've already opened the package on the bottom side to make it a little bit easier to empty content. Alright, so we have the instruction manual, which I personally will not be using because I have it open on the PDF already, the PDF version of this. And then we have a sticker sheet for the UCS flag, which sadly is a sticker and not actually a print on some tile, like they do it for the newer Lego Star Wars diorama series, for example, and which a lot of people hope to see on an actual UCS set, where the prices would actually justify including one. Alright, let's sort out the bag. I think it's 8 steps. I looked at the instructions earlier. Alright. This will be a little bit of a longer build. So I hope you got something to drink and a snack and are ready to enjoy today's build. So I'm just gonna empty out the first bag. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more delicate, so not to be too annoying with the sound. Alright. Looks like we're building a technical on the first step. Wonderful. Alright. So let me just check if my settings are correct. Yes. Wonderful. And then I would say I will put my camera closer to actually show you what I'm building. Alright. So I think we can start with Grogu. Alright. So there's also a little minifigure included, which is actually very little. And has a rubber head instead of the regular plastic. Let's see if I can show you this better on this camera. Yeah, probably. And it's really cute. It's only one stud wide. It's also included in the Razor Crest model that they brought out, I think, also 2020 or 2021, which I have lying around somewhere too. So yeah, now we have 2 of these in our collection, I suppose. All right. Besides that, the first step is probably just building the frame mostly, as we see, and the topside piece where we connect the head later on. All right, so I would suggest we start out. This might take a little longer than the previous streams, but I was really looking forward to this build, actually, because it's just such a cute display model. I think this is really one of the cuter display series of models that Star Wars, Lego Star Wars has brought out over the last couple of years. One of the other ones that I would like to mention in this realm would be the R2D2 model, which also was kind of cute, but I think Grogu is a little bit better. At least from what I've seen so far. I have not actually seen it in real life, so I'm curious. All right, we're building this twice. Oh, whoops. All right, now that we've built this part here, we're just putting it on the side of our main frame, where I actually forgot to technique pins. Oops. Oh, I see. Lines up right. All right, now I have to count out where exactly we place this, which is the fourth piece from the bottom. All right. So CNT on the bottom, so it's two up from the last technique pin here. All right. Cool. All right. I think I see a little bit better in this angle. Alright, so far we have built this little staircase of different technique pieces, I suppose. I'll just set it down here. And we're just putting on the same sort of structure on the other side to make it more secure. Cool. I think it's easier if I just take it like this. Alright, so we need a technique pin here. And then it's just like this triangle shape again. Just from the other side around. Oh, and now we're building this technique connection here. I like this row of different pins. A grand total of 4 times. Alright. Well, 2 out of 4 are done. Alright, I'm just gonna start mounting some of them. Basically just the same as the first row. Let's do the second side, and then we are already done with this step. Alright. Alright, yeah, we have done everything properly. So far, this is a lot of repetition, but I think, or at least I hope, that that's mostly the out or the inside structure, and the rest of it will be a little bit more diverse. At least I see some different colors. I see a lot of the same colors, though. We will see. I've not scrolled through the instruction manual yet, so I don't know what exactly is awaiting me in this sense. All right. For anybody tuning in now, thank you so much for joining. I wish you all a wonderful evening, and I hope you enjoyed today's content. We are building little Krogu as a little display model, set number 75318. right. Have I lined this properly? Ah, no, I did not put the top one in the right way. So I suppose now we just shove this through, but I'm kind of, am I missing a piece here, or are they just really, yeah, they're just putting this through here without any second part. Hmm. Well, I suppose it's still sturdy. Let's see what's awaiting us here. Well, not much actually. I hope that there was something coming in here. Well, so far, this this is not really sturdy. So it's like really very much wobbly. Mm, and I hope there would be like a connector piece or something that they would put in. But okay, let's see. I'll just continue on ignoring it. I'm sure we will figure it out. Alright, at least it's like it's not able to fall out. Ah, I see, and it's supposed, I guess, to be able to move around. Ah, I see. Well, I'm curious how this is going to be stable later on, but we will see. Ah, it's this way. So it's movable forth and back. Ah, okay. I see. So we can actually. Ah, I see. So we can actually move the head and actually tilt it too. That's kind of smart. That's kind of smart. All right. So we're building the upper part of the main body. And as you can see, we can move the head part, or like the under part of the ball joint in which the head will sit. And other than that, we're just putting the start of the decoration on, I suppose. And as I can see, I have missed a piece of it. Oh, I thought I already prepared this one. Sorry, I'm just a little annoyed by my headphone cable. All right. Sorry. So let's continue. Oh, I think it's even easier if I just put it on first and then put the technique in. All right. I think this should be all the technique elements, and not just the rest of the beginning. That's just a build up around it. At the end, I suppose we are not going to see any of the stuff that we basically just built right here. So I suppose it's gonna hide very well. We have a lot of these connector pins for side panels, and I also have seen that there might be like just whole panels being put up front here to reflect connector pieces here and here, because there's extra technicals left out. All right, so let's put this aside for now, or like maybe I show it to you for a second, a little bit closer. Like the top side already starts to have the color that is supposed to be um, filling up the whole body elements here too, very much. And yeah, only the head is like this greenish hue. And I can just show you the right. So let's continue on with step two. As you see here in the corner, we are building the front panel now, I think. Yes, we're building the front panel if I see it correctly. So for this, we can actually put this away and just keep it here. Shove everything to the side and continue on with building a bunch off. But what color is this? Is this dark sand? Medium brown? Whoa, there's a little spider. Ooh. Ooh, I got like really scared by that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to ignore that one. Ooh, like one of these really little ones. Ooh. Sorry, I'm a little bit arachnophobic, I suppose. All right. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. We were starting out with the second step. Now I'm like consciously scared of more spiders. I found it actually being an issue. I know they don't. They will not do anything. But still, I don't like it. Oh god. All right. So we have built up a few plates right here, and now we're gonna continue with a few big plates to actually put up the front side, put some struts in. All right. Ah, beginning with the first side paneling here. Nice. So we're already stacking up a couple of plate heights to create sort of a layering effect to it. Let's see if I can show it in a proper way. So you see we're already going up this direction. I love it when they implement this sort of layering technique. I think it looks rather intricate. Am I missing something? No, I think I should. Yeah. To be honest, I have no idea where exactly this one by one stud is actually going. Um, because I think it's supposed to be like on the. I don't think that you'll see it on the camera, but I think it's supposed to be like this. But the instruction just does not clarify it. I don't know if you can see it properly enough because it's rather small. But um, it's It's very weird of an angle. Yeah, I think I've put it in the right way. So even though it's all um, surrounded by a red outline border, the problem still is in this instruction manual. There's a lot of similar colored parts on a rather hmm, on a very angled sort of build, or like a very differentiated height of build in terms of like just stacking plates above each other. You cannot really see everything that well. At least I cannot. Probably a lot of people can, but I feel like I'm missing something. Oh no, this is a plate actually. Um, are we just putting on? Yeah, we're just putting plates up top. Okay, so there's a space down here which gets left out. So, uh, I guess they wanted to save two plates, but you don't need it. It's not for structural purposes or anything like that. And it's totally fine. I think I should have everything. I don't really wanna realize I'm missing something in the middle of it. I like have a bunch of parts over at the end of this step because going through this is probably not the most fun. I did not think about how much same colored pieces I'm actually gonna have to set in this. But it's a lot of different shapes at least. Alright, still just stacking up more parts for the front side. We're separate at 49. We're looking like this. We're getting a shape here from the bottom up. Alright, interlocking a bunch of things here. I gotta say, the sturdiness of this is wonderful. Let's side panel getting used here with another slope piece and What do we have here? Ah, a cheese slope put up here. And I'm just gonna move a little bit more into the camera. Maybe this actually gonna help a bit with displaying what we are actually doing here. So we have put another a cheese slope up here to get a more sophisticated angle from this regular slope piece up here. Oh, a good idea, I think. Just gonna move my microphone a bit here. I hope that was bearable. Sorry. Hmm. Another decorative piece for the front side. Just different angles and slopes being put here into the middle. Yeah, should be good. Yeah, should be good. All right. That should be good. All right, another cheese slope at the front. A bunch of plates to the side. I really like the way that they are layering this. I think that so far, this is actually, even though it's all the same color in this whole step, like all of this basically is the same color already. It it's really enjoyable, honestly. It's so many different parts, and it's also all like different layering and just like a very cool approach to layering all of this up. we should be good. All right. So we are getting higher and higher up. We are already up here. Cool. More of the little cheese slabs up front. It's being set off a little bit to get like a depth effect into it. That's like actually a really good idea. Cool. All right, layering more of the wing pieces. Slope 1/3. All right, so we are having the upper side of this little 3D structure done. Looks pretty cool, honestly. So far, I very much enjoy building this. This is a rather cool style of layering and of build up to this. You have to be the type of person to enjoy this because it can be a little bit meticulous, I guess. And if you do not like placing the same color a lot, then this also might be quite frustrating. By the way, if you hear a little noise in the background, don't be disturbed, please. It's just my computer fan dying in the background from 100% CPU usage for some reason. But please excuse any weird sounds in the background. Also, if there's a howling, it's probably also not good. But there's all different sounds coming out of the forest, so whoever knows. Anyways, we're putting on the front side now. Ah, and I'm holding it wrong. So basically, I'm gonna show it to you in the camera. We just build the upper part here. We finish this with all the slope elements. That's the ropes in the front. And we are aligning it here on the top. And it has a bunch of strut connectors and hook onto the technique. So, alright. So from the front you can already not see any technique anymore if you ignore the head connector. Cool. Let's see where we are getting this in our third step. Alright. So right, step 74. Oh, I think we're making rather good progress, I would say. I hope you think so too. And don't get angry with my building speed. I always like to make sure I check if I did the step properly, even though while talking is sometimes is a little bit harder for me for some reason. So I want to make I want to even make even more. I want to make sure to properly um like scroll through and do all these things. Even though, as you have realized, if you've watched any previous stream, I'm not really succeeding in that all that often, sadly. Most of the time, I'm still making some little mistakes, but happy little mistakes are nothing but signs that you can improve in some areas. And it shows you where to improve, I suppose. Which in my case is just rushing too much and then overlooking certain things. Being too hectic is always a little bit of a problem of mine, so that's also what I'm trying to like achieve with building Lego is setting down a bit and like calming down a bit and um like just doing a little bit of a more relaxed, relaxing sort of activity. And I think for just relaxing while using your brain still, Lego is one of the best things. Alright, so this is how far we are right now. Lots and lots of angled pieces and slopes so far. Which probably will turn out to be a really cool build in the end. Alright, so just more layering with different shapes of plates mostly. Alright, so more layering, more plates. Alright. All right. Just more plating. Hmm. Ah, I see. So it's two bracket connectors on each side one. You just cannot see one of them. Well, I suppose. So far, I like this side of the build too. It's just it becomes a little bit similar to the side that we just built, but yeah, what a surprise, huh? We have to build at least one more side like that, and I guess the back side also looks very similar. All right, so just putting like an extra piece together that fits in here. So we have prepared this, just like a bunch of angle connectors up here too, and we're setting it in here. All right, looking like this at the moment. Making some progress, I suppose. Some more plating for decoration. Just need to see I get this right. All right. Some wing pieces. Cool. Ah, we've built the back side. Oh, it seems first that was more one of the bigger sides. Cool. That makes sense. All right. So let's going in on the back side here. After I fix this really quick. Where did I just knock this off? Oh boy. Um, just a second. It's one of those things that are not supposed to happen. I think it's here. It was here? No. Was it here? Yeah, I think it was here. I hope it was here. If not, maybe one of you guys can tell me. If this is even visible properly on the camera, I hope it is. Alright, let's put this on here before I just break more things off of it again. Kind of counterproductive in that point. Looking like this right now. All right, and step 4. We're reaching the halfway point. By the way, just to mention, um, Lego building steps are not just parted up after a certain number of parts. It's usually just when they feel like it fits, because sometimes the steps are huge and sometimes the steps are just little, just going all out through sets. It's not just like in between sets. No, it's just this bag, for example, is probably less than the seventh one. So, and this the one I showed you was 8 right there. So it's like all of them are just set into steps, basically, like you saw, like the back side and the front side and stuff like that, I suppose. Oh, I'm missing the 12 one. Ah, I see. Just one here, and then connecting more plates. Now we're building the side elements. Very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how the little figurine actually looks like. I'm a fan of this sort of buildable figurines. Actually, a big fan of them. As you maybe can see in the back side, there is where is it? Here. There is Hermione. Also, the brick built one, which I think is one of the coolest minifigures to have, just because it's like really cute, and also the face print is uh, also done well. It's not a stick or anything like that. It actually gives a lot of display value. Speaking of displayable figurines, today I saw that soon there is a new Lego Ideas set coming out, which is going to be um, for jazz musicians, which in my opinion looks absolutely amazing. And I'm very much looking forward to getting this one too, and will very likely also build it on stream with you guys. It's very fun. It's like the whole jazz band. I love jazz, and I think it's awesome that they're bringing this set out. Looking forward to it a lot. To get back to what we are actually building right now, it's just more of the layering of the dark sand colored bricks, or like plates and cheese slopes especially. Hmm, I see. I'm gonna show you what we are having so far. As you can see, more layers, and it's also rather, how should I say, rather solid in terms of construction. I don't think it would fall out apart very quickly. Oh, I missed a couple of parts. Oops. I was going to say, wait, there's a bunch of things on here that I do not have set yet. All right. Just building up the upper part of the structure. Hmm. Ah, that's why the second one is. More structuring on the side elements. Probably also gonna have some sort of um, arm part. Yeah, right. As I'm talking about coming up here. Cool. So this is where the connector will go for the actual arm piece. I'm just not sure if we're building the left or the right side right now. I think it is the right side. Should be. No, should be the left side actually. Sorry. Oh, we will see. I was going to say depends on how you look at it, but I don't think it actually depends on how you look at it. If I think about it, like it would not switch sides just because I looked at it from a different angle. For me, it would be a different side, but it would not be a different side for like the model of it, right? All right, depends on how you define it, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, a bunch of plates and connector pieces getting up here. All right, just more angles and slopes. By now, I kind of have to say I'm looking forward to building a new color. But it's already also the halfway point of this build. So our progress is quite good. All right. So putting on the last couple of pieces for this build, or like for this step of the build. Alright, so let me show you what we've built. So it's a little left out on here. See, and it's going on his left side, yes. So we are having to put, which side is the front again? This one, because it has this hood element, okay. And then we are just setting this aligned into here. Alright, and just press it together gently. Cool. Just want to make sure this is structurally solid. Cool, now let's spin it around and show you guys. It's already a really cool structure, I like it a lot. I think this is super cute. Just gonna drink something really quick. Sorry. Terribly sorry. Alright. By the way, sorry if my voice is a little bit cracked today. I've talked quite a bit already on my day job. Alright. So, let's get into part 5, which is basically the same thing we just built, but mirrored. And let's put it here and just so you can see what we already have. Here. Alright. Let's continue. I would have nearly missed the 1x3 plate on the right side. At least it's structurally solid with this long plate going over most of the build already. The rest is getting interlocked bricks and plates too. Excuse me. show you my progress, there's more layering done to the upper side here. That's basically all. Interlocking all of it with more plates. All right. More layers being put in. Up into the front side too. I think now we're beginning more the stacking of the front side. And the build-up of where the actual arm's supposed to be. Yes, finally. So we have this little mountain of, of parts that we just build up. And because the color is actually matching, it actually looks like a mountain too. I use this sort of color for usually for either swamp areas or um, layering it with light and dark bluish gray to actually create mountain surfaces. So it reminds me a lot of just like more like how to call more like lower areas of a mountain, I suppose, like the mix up of it in the rock wall, or like the startup of the rock wall on it. Because I actually am very much into building uh, my own creations of little scenery sites and little dioramas, also with Lego pieces. And there, this color is actually very useful. So first I only got this for parting out, but then I realized how freaking cute it looked. So I kept it for when I actually was feeling a little bit like the Star Wars vibe, and especially after building the little Batman mobile yesterday, um, I thought about switching to another um, how's it called, the subgenre of Lego that I very much enjoy, even way more than comic book Lego, because Star Wars kind of is like my favorite subgenre. Also great to collect, by the way. If you're more into the the collecting side of it, it's great for putting it into the shelves, most of the time. I think especially these little display pieces like this, or even the other figurines like the Yoda and the R2D2, perfect for display. Um, and other than that, the EUCS sets are just awesome. Honestly, like some of them are really cool. Some of them are not the best, and and might might be a little overhyped by some people. But yeah, it is like it is with a lot of hobbies. Like you always have to um, make up your own mind about a subject by looking at it from different angles. If you just follow one opinion, especially if you look into YouTube with some reviews, it's, in my opinion, it's horrible, because you would just basically have either a very broad opinion, because most like YouTube reviews of Lego sets are at, I'm not sure. I don't want to say bought, but trying to appeal to Lego sort of style, or no, well, Lego sort of review style, which basically just means saying a bunch of good things about it. Don't critique anything, and yeah, from there on, you may be lucky enough to actually become a creator for them or something like that. But uh, in my opinion, it's just sucking up to a giant company. And especially because Lego is not a company to suck up to, in my opinion, because there's a hell of a lot of things that you can discuss that are not really the most wonderful things about these sets, especially the last couple of years. They have turned their focus away from customer satisfaction more to satisfaction of their shareholders, which you can clearly tell in some ways or in some areas. Especially like the price per piece value on or ratio on some sites in the last years is just ridiculous. Like, especially while talking about Lego Star Wars, yeah, especially in the Lego Star Wars lineup, like this is one of those license agreements where they are milking it. They are literally milking it because it's Disney on one side and Lego on the other, and yeah, guess what's happening with these two? Like it's just crazy in terms of value of overvaluing the article when they put it out onto the market. Like if you look, for example, at the Mandalorian Starfighter, the new one. Um, I don't want to bring it up right now because yeah, well, we are in the middle of building it, different set, but um. The set, I don't. I hope you know which one I'm talking about. The Silver Naboo Starfighter, sort of that they had in the new season of the Mandalorian. Um, it's in my opinion, it's a lot overpriced. It's kind of a cute set, but it's I think 60 euros what was the official retail price for the MSRP. And yeah, that is just like 20 euros too much for what you get. Like I can I remember like having the little like basically what little the same size the boost up at like the original yellow ones, like the two models, like the first one coming out from episode one and the second one is coming out sometime in 2009 or 10 or so. I'm not sure exactly anymore. But if you compare these sets, this is like what was that, 40 euros or so maximum. It's just ridiculous. There's not even anything else besides like two minifigures and Grogu. Yeah, and not something I would recommend buying. One of the other sets really being really overpriced, at least for suggested retail, is Jonas Hub. But yeah, well, at the same time, I kind of liked it too much for some certain pieces, which were a bunch of these green tile pieces. So I got some of those sets. So I'm also guilty of supporting this company even now in recent days and years. I suppose, but especially because I like this company a lot and I like supporting it in some ways. It's even the more painful to see some of the decisions that they take with it. But I don't just want to completely hate on it, to be honest. Some of the sets themselves have been really good too. Like, but more the 18 plus lineup, in my opinion. Like, some of them were actually good. Um, for example, I like the Colosseum a lot. If I still have not finished it completely, but just like in terms of the building experience, it's just very relaxing and it's just looking cool in terms of the scale of it. Or for example, which also was a very fun and well priced build, was the Singapore architecture model in comparison to some of the other architecture sets, at least, where we are already talking about huge prices in terms of what you actually get, because it's just a bunch of very small pieces. But for that, the piece count is okay for the price. but in my opinion, like arguing about the price per piece ratio sometimes is also not a very sensitive argument, because like what does it really tell you? And some parts are bigger than others, so you don't really get the best view of it. Like one of my favorite examples is like the Star Destroyer, because it has a lot less pieces, but it's actually like just as heavy as, for example, the UCS Millennium Falcon nearly. So it's rather okay in that aspect, for example. Because there's like so many plates and bigger parts being used, which just bring up more weight. Sorry, I I went on kind of a rant for that. Sorry, but at least while talking crap about that, some of the decisions of the shareholders of this company, at least I finished the last side of it, of the main body, which is the right arm. I like the body part of that. All right, and also this side is getting put there the same as the others. Just kind of push it together to make sure it's actually set. All right, we've basically constructed a little trash bin. I'm gonna leave it here so that you can actually see what we have built by now. And we are continuing on with step number 6, which apparently is us building the hand part. And the last time that we actually have to place medium sand brown pieces. All right. So, all right. So, making some progress on the arm pieces, which are a lot of studded sides. Wait, I think I skipped something. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. It's we're just building a new part. That's why. Okay, so we finished up this one as I showed you just now, and now we are continuing with some sort of build up to it. All right, more slopes. Curious how the little arms will look like. Oh, I can really tell how terrible my voice is today. I'm so sorry. I'm just like had to talk so much already today, so I'm like completely fucked in this aspect. All right, we've we completed the step number 194, and we put together the two different side pieces. Cool. Put a side plate onto here and here. Oh, and it's taking shape, guys. First green piece. Yes. Building a little hand. The little hand pieces. Getting interlocked again. All right, more stacking up. Oh, that's kind of cool. So just let me show you when I put it together. So this is actually like quite of a cool design. So this is like this little pyramid shapes. Maybe you remember from from one of our first building streams where we put together the little Tokyo set. And here it's his little fingers, or like the fingertips with the, how's it called? The nails, I suppose. And it's also movable. Kind of the same approach, but with a different piece for the claws in the other side. Yeah, claws is probably better than nails for Goku. I hope you can see. It's just a cheese loop this time. All right, so we can put together our first little hand and arm pieces. Sorry. And we can align this here. And I just have to make sure I use the right side. Yes. So this is his, yeah, this is his right hand. So we're putting it in here. So it has these connection pieces. And up here is a plate, so it slides in perfectly. And has a flush sit if I see it. Yeah, a rather flush. And you can basically pose it a little bit. You can, yeah, you can put the hand up front, for example, or to the side. All right. Ah, well, I see we are building the second. And now. All right, on 213 already. I'm building the second arm right now. If you enjoy my content, I am always super, super happy for any new followers or subscribers. But I understand if you're just wanting to check it out. All right, getting close to 220. Right now we're just putting up more layers of plates to make it more structurally integer. Oh, Honestly, the rigidity of this build in general is really good so far. I'm not wanting to like lift it up beforehand because then I'm probably break something and like totally deny my own point right now. But I actually really enjoy this. That's just nice to see like a little bit of a difference between the builds. The only problem with this is that it's always mirrored to each side, like twice for the arms and the side pieces. The front and the back was rather similar too. And well, we will see how the head is built up. And the ears will probably also be mirrored. But besides that, I think the overall building techniques are really cool that they used. They use a lot of different angles and shapes and just really like a lot of regular bricks in quite cool ways by just angling it in kind of weird ways, weird on the brackets because it's just a little bit of a different building style. Weird is cool. And here we have like um, connectors to the sides too. All right, getting interlocked up here. All right. All right. So this is the lower part of it, and which is connected. All right. So a little bit more plating. Last couple of these sand colored pieces. This time we're building it more on the piece directly, not as an extra piece. That's cool that they have different postures basically, so um, you have a little bit more display value in it. Oh, oops, I'm sorry. All right, and the fingers are also the same sort of build as we already had on the other side. All right. We are connecting it again with this ball joint. This is the same that they use in the big UCS Star Destroyer, and it's just such a pain to align the upper panels of that thing. It's just it took me like 10 tries without to not just break off something in this giant plate where you have to press in two of these ball joints without like using force on the wrong part, like point of it. All right, but I'm digressing. I'm sorry. Whew. So we are aligning the what is this? The left arm of Grobo, which we have just finished, and it also goes in the same way as the other side. Which is wire this thing here. Just align to the front because we're having the little hand put out. That's so cute already. I really love this. So far, it's really cool. I'm just realizing I've did not use one piece correctly. Let me just check if I can see where. Ah, that can be anywhere at this point. So I might as well just put it anywhere at this point. Well, it's kind of well back here. Just ignore that. All right, we're building. This is something very weird and interesting if you can see this part. Well, let's see how this looks in real life. At least we have a new color to place. I really don't mind having a lot of similar styled bricks or like similar bricks in the same color to place, but It's also nice to get some variety into this build, and I actually really dig this green tone. I think this is actually pretty cool. Wow, on this cam it looks so different to this. Oh, I need to change my color settings a little bit. So this is the more proper way to display it probably. Like, yeah, I think it's such a cool, like, what is this, like a green turquoise, green turquoise sort of thing? Yeah, I guess. My PDF app is also kind of crying right now from the way it seems. Just because it's, I think I'm maxing out around 32 gigabytes of RAM right now because I am guilty of opening around, I don't know, 5 different windows with 30 Chrome tabs each. But not all of them are loaded into the that too. I'm just one of those people who are sometimes just like are too lazy or like feel like they are going to lose what they have open, so they just leave it open in the background and just open a new browser window. And at some point when you let your computer run for a while, oh boy, it it can have a little bit of an impact on it. I feel like I should probably restart um this computer too at some point. So the last couple of days, Twitch has been capping at around, I don't know, 75%. In the beginning, it was like 30. It's just gradually become worse. If you can tell, I've not restarted my PC since then. Well, I'm using PC as a general broader term. Like it's not Windows, but it's still it's paying a big tribute at this point. Oh god. That's when you know it's going good when scrolling through a PDF. It's already literally lagging. Perfect. So we're starting out with the frame of the jaw line, I think. Oh no, this is actually the neck piece and the jawline. And bar pin connector and with a Technic hole. All right. Oh, I forgot to put another row of this red connector stuff. One by one connector style plates. Not exactly sure how they actually call it. Just guessing. Looking like this right now. right. All right. Just let me make sure I'm not skipping anything. And let's build up these little parts. All right, getting connected in the front with a 5 row. 5 starts long row. Row style of plate with a technique pin in the middle. Putting the a little bit of side thing up here. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be right now, to be completely honest with you. I guess the cheats? I will see. Sorry, I'm just really thirsty right now. Oh, I missed a one by one start up on the front. Okay. And then we are interlocking this with bridge. Oh, sorry. Oh, that nearly just popped off into Nirvana. It's cool that it's an uneven number of studs. So it's a three-piece brick in the middle and it's like a little bit spaced differently because of it. Okay, and that's where we are, I guess. Looking at it like this, and well, on the bottom there's nothing here. Hello. We're building the eye parts. It looks just so weird right now. Like, what? Hello. It looks a bit like Wally at this point. Is there a Wally Lego set? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think I've seen an idea set, but I don't think they actually released one. Anyways, we are putting on some corner pieces to make the look a little bit less chunky. All right, it's looking at you a little bit better already. Little slopes, I think, are like angled slopes on the side, and then these rounded plate pieces for the corners. I guess now we're working on the eyebrows or something. Oh, I'm just realizing, is there a sticker? Um, just a second. Oh no, there's some sticker. I think that's. What is that? Ah, it's looking weird at least. But right now we're building the eyebrows first anyway, so let me just put that down. Wait, I think I've missed something. Yeah, I missed something. Oops. Ah, here it is. Oops. All right, so far we are looking like this. I've put up some brow and eye structure. What? Okay, so ah, and this just shows you where it's supposed to be placed, I guess. Ah, oh wait, and I professionally placed it wrong. There is a print on this bottom side. I thought they maybe would have put in stickers for the eyes, but no. That's actually, I mean, I have to take it apart again. Terribly sorry. I'm gonna show it to you first too. I'm curious if you can actually tell that there is something printed on here. Can you see this brown line up top? Like that brown line up in the top by my finger? It's, it's kind of cool. Wait, I've built one of the eyes. Super cute that it has this little print on it. I'm so glad that they put a print on this. Just this makes it so much more more believable of a look for this part. All right, so all right, and the second eye is finished. Gonna place these really quick. And we have built the eyes. Super cute. Now it's looking at you. Hello. Whee! Sorry. Already back. Okay. Let's continue. A little angle piece over the another angle. Like you can see the smaller one. And here on the outside is the bigger one. And let me show you the second one. It's this sort of style. All right. Oh, cool. This is getting interlocked here. Yeah. Nice. Nice. This is really cool. All right. So, it doesn't load properly anymore. Oops. So, all right, making great progress here too. All right. So, I'm going to show you what we have so far. We have such a cute little face that we've built now. I love it. And you can even open it. And then you have a red tongue in there even. Isn't that sweet? I love it. That is so cute. You can even put him a little smile. Oh, Even put a little smile on the little guy's face. Oh wait, I placed this a little bit wrong. It needs to be one farther down. Oops. Alright, so making good progress here on the ear part. I think we're building the right ear at the moment. Guys, today's build, I gotta say, is a little bit longer, but I also was expecting that because we have more steps and parts. I hope that's still okay for you to watch. It's a lot of fun for me to build this, and I hope you can tell and appreciate it a little bit too. All right, so I'm gonna show you our progress on this. We're building one of the ears right now, and this is how the shape looks from the back side. That's this connector. All right, so from the back there's a little bit of sand color sticking through, but you get a cool effect in the front from it, even with a little G-slope here. I think it's cute. All right. He has his first ear. This is. I love that you can pose him in a laughing face. That's really cute. I think the face is my favorite part of this build. The PDF reader is just dying again. All right. Well, for the second year, it's basically the same sort of build, which is just to show you the side connector. Like it's just these two rows of different colored bricks that get a nice 3D effect. I think it's a cool technique that are using here. Uh-oh, I forgot another two parts of something. Oopsie. Where could they fit? Huh. Hmm. I could go through it again. Should I? I suppose I should. Let's go through it a little bit. Hmm. You know what, actually? Let's just go to where we are. And we are finding a place to put these. Maybe at the end of our build. We're just leaving this aside for now. Please don't judge me too much right now. As a little bit of an argument on my part, it's like 5:40 in the morning right now. But that cannot be an excuse. I should I should look up where I actually misplaced the parts. But in all honesty, I just don't care enough for that right now. So like mentioned, please don't judge me, but I can show you how far we are right now. We have the face with the two little ears. It just looks amazingly cute. I love it. Even if some parts missing. Excuse me, please. Right, so far we are aligning some angled parts up to the side. Well, I'm not exactly sure which part we are building right now, but we will find it out very fast. By the way, this is the last step that we are on. Ah, I see. Like on the back side of our head here, we have these red clamps, and this is where this is supposed to go. Just let me rotate it properly, and then it's supposed to align like this. I think I'm holding this the wrong way. What? Okay, like I'm supposed to hold it like this, so basically the other way around to me. Um, and then I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in like this. So like this right here. All right, let's build the second part to this. All right, we're just repeating the step we just did, just mirrored to the other side. All right, and the second piece. Now I'm a little bit quicker in realizing how it's supposed to be. Just getting pressed in here. And this is basically the backside of. Is it? Yeah, it's like the backside of the head. All right. Off to new part. getting a little bit crowded on the table with the parts. Well, I could also just move it out of the side, but I don't want it. Oops, that was the wrong color. That was green, and we need light bluish gray. Oh, that's so many plates. That's basically not just putting on so many little plates. I will show you in a second what the final result of this part is looking like. You can see there's just like all the cheese slopes here, like just slope pieces. Getting a nice three-dimensional shape, and this is good. Put on the back side. All right, now we are putting more decoration on top. You see, this sort of decorative piece is going on the sides now. There's going to be a second one on the other side. All right, to show you what we just built. This is it. A bunch of slopes and side pieces, and we are just mounting this to the back here, where we have some studs open. And here we build a connection for it. And this will align just like this right here. I hope you can see it properly. And we have it in. Sorry if that was loud. I set it off on the table, and it's like a little bit weak because of the ball joint on the bottom side. I'm just gonna put him on like this for now to not produce any annoying like noises. Sorry. Building and talking at the same time sometimes just still distracts me a little bit. Okay, I suppose now we're building the head shape up top. I nearly used the wrong one because this is a 4 stud white, long angle, and they have a bunch of 3 stud whites too. All right, making progress here. The overall head shape on the back looks pretty cool already, super sloped. Step 360. We're putting on the upper brows. Looking awesome. Oh, just to show you what it then just done. You can see better when it's on one side first, so we're building this brow line here. All right, getting like really close to looking like Grogu. Last brows. And then I think we are close to being finished. I think the plaque in the stand are still missing. All right. So you can see his little face up here. And the last part is going in here. Isn't he cute? That's super nice, right? And like I mentioned, you can open the mouth a little. All right. Let's align our boy here. Oh, I see. And now because it's movable, it can look up. On this angle, it looks like a little bit weird. All right. So now we're building his little play ball here out of, well, the only red piece in the middle. I'm sure they needed to get rid of this again. We had some red pieces lying around, so guess what you're using? I suppose. I don't even know what these parts were originally. Oh, I see. And it has this little stud, which is blue for some reason, which can be probably replaced by either. I don't know. There's a black stud here. If we don't use it, maybe I'll just switch it out with that one. It would fit way better. Super weird otherwise, but I don't know why they used freaking blue for this. All right. But we have it in his little hand now. Can you see this? Yeah, you can. Cool. All right, and now we're just building a little plague. So while I feel motivated right now, so I'm gonna do this sticker first. Watch me screw this up. Oh yeah, I forgot this little ball is the shifter knob of the Razor Crest. True. Let's see if I actually managed to put this up correctly. Not really. It's over sticking on one side and it's a little bit too short on the other. But I pressed it down so it's a little bit less visible. I don't think you can read what is on the plaque, so I'll just read it. Child, homeworld unknown, species unknown, age 50, height 0.337 meters, and his favorite toy is, like I mentioned, the Razor Crest Shifter knob. Alright, so let's build the stand and finish up today's episode. Alright. Alright. So we have the plaque finished. And we're gonna put a little Krogo here. Alright, let me just check if there's anything more here. No, then we're just gonna place the two parts that I have left over because I did not realize where I had to put it. So we're just gonna put it on the ears, back here, back here. I hope you don't hate me too much for doing this right now, but I just wanna at least implement it into the build so I know that it's complete in brackets, because it's, even though it's built not completely to instruction, at least, well, at least it is including all the parts. I'm rather meticulous about that. Okay. All right. So there, in the end, there's just advertisement for a game that came out 2 years later. Then the set, because this is actually from 2020. Oh yeah, and they already had the Razor Crest in here too. And one of the worst Lego sets from the Star Wars franchise that I could think of, which is Grievous Starfighter. But yeah, that's a topic for a different time. And also the old Sith, the duel from Episode 6. Also, that's a kind of a cool set, but also terribly overpriced. All right. So to get speaking about the build a little bit, let me just put in the first page so we have a nice background to it. All right. So today we have built this little guy right here, little Grogu. And I think he has turned out very, very cute. I honestly very much appreciate how Lego has designed this model. I think when you have finished the build, it is actually one of the cutest brick build figurines that I've ever owned, to be honest. Like, especially, I love the little mouth feature, and it has this little red part for his tongue. It's just so cute. He just looks so happy, and it makes me happy when I look at it. It's just lovely. And also, I think the little ears are really cool with this 3D layering sort of beat technique, which I think is awesome. Um, and also the little board is kind of cute if you ignore that there's red in the middle of it for some weird reason. Um, and also, um, these little arms are one of the cutest parts about it, in my opinion at least. Like if you look at it, it's also posable, and it's just such a cute thing, and it's all of it is just so freaking cute. I love it. Um, what I loved in the beginning, especially, was the layering. Like the let me maybe just draw my camera in a little bit closer so I can actually show a little bit more about it. So what I really, really appreciated um, was how much 3D effect the layering brings out. And in the beginning, it's also actually quite fun to build. Over the duration of the build, to be completely honest with you, it can be a little bit mm, drawn out, if I can call it that. It's not like it's becoming boring in any way, because there's a lot of different shapes to it. So overall, it's not an issue of the parts being used, but just it's a little bit monotonous because it is placing the same sand color on all four sides of the main body, like you maybe have seen during the build, um, which is well, quite a lot of brick, as you see, and also the little arm elements on the side, on both sides, are also held in the same color, which is nice if you need it for the parts, and it's also getting exactly the effect that it wants to bring across with this layering of the hood, and like the back side of it where it actually shows it a little hood, and the, the meticulous and intricate detailing on the bottom here. I think all of that is a wonderful detail and a super nice feature. Just the building part of it is not as fascinating as with other sets. The UCS plaque is quite a little bit smaller, in my opinion, than some of the other ones, like the 8080. I think had a bigger plaque, for example, but I'm not completely sure. I would have to actually compare the two right now. I don't have a UCS model to grab. I mean, I would have, just a second. I have this right here, which can be compared if you ask me, because it is, yeah, it is exactly the black size. It's just from the BMW motorbike instead of an UCS model. You see, this is the regular size of the black, and this is the size that Grogu's plaque is, which I think is similar to the one from the probe droid, but I have not built the probe droid yet. So that's another that's a build for another day, which I'm also kind of looking forward to. It's kind of a cute model too, the little robot. But yeah, as you can see, I I think it kind of fits that it isn't so huge. Um, Also, yeah, I know this is not the sticker is not very, put up very well here either. One of the things I'm always kind of complaining about in these sets too, because in my opinion, especially if you put in a smaller plaque even, the possibility to print this would have been there, wouldn't it? So if you think about it, that's something that could have been put into it, and it would have put it into a sport where it's even a little bit um, more premium, you know. But if you if you ignore that, I think the rest of the build is actually wonderful, and the display opportunities of this are also quite huge because you can pose it with the head in different um, angles. You can, like I mentioned, you can close up the mouth, you can open the mouth, and you can squeeze the fingers together, or you can even pose with the hands a little bit, not too much because you cannot turn or twist anything besides the head, which also, like I mentioned in the beginning, can be moved front and back for posability too. Um, Other than that, it's not a playset. I want to mention that right now and then too, because it is it it could um well it speaks to all generations because well it's set what is this set actually set for? It's set for 10 plus. So it wants to appeal to a younger audience too, which I understand with this sort of build. But once you are building it, I don't think that it will be the most enjoyable build possible for the amount of money it costs. There's different sites where you probably could have more fun with the playability aspect of this, because yeah, well, like I already mentioned, this is just for display. I got this just for putting it back there in my cupboard somewhere and looking nice on stream. But if you actually want to interact with a Lego set, this is probably the wrong one, because once you post it and it's looking cute, it's doing exactly that and nothing more than that. But um, well, that's something that should be mentioned, because it's not completely clear from the picture. Like from the picture, you could think that maybe the arms would be more possible. For example, you could rebuild it in a way that both arms could work and could be tilted up and down and stuff like that, which would already increase the possibility and the factor quite a bit. But well, for some reason, Lego decided to not do that. Maybe because the angle of the hood would be is different on this side, and it's like hanging through a little bit more, as you can see, in comparison to the other arm here, where it's not as big of a drag. Here it's a little bit more of a drag at the bottom to simulate gravity, which actually is a nice touch, which I honestly only realized now that I was complaining a bit about it. Um, but still, if I think about it, it could have been implemented. But is it necessary? I don't know, not really. The hands itself, like I mentioned, are posable. They are not posable too much, so don't expect anything huge from it. But you can align the fingers like you want, for example. What I personally thought of as a very nice touch to this set is a possibility, or like not the possibility, the fact that if I put it closer to the camera so you can see it better what I'm talking about. Like you can see the eyeballs have, I hope you can see it because there's a bunch of light shining around, but there's this brown shimmer at the bottom, which um, symbolizes sort of what you would see from eyeballs. I guess in the series, Grogu basically has this sort of eyeline, and it fits very well with the build. Um, I think it's also my favorite part about it, and I'm very glad that they printed this piece, because if this would have been a sticker, it would have been ridiculous. It would not look good, and it would, but at the same time, it shows you that they can do it. They knew that this would not be acceptable for that piece, so it's just a saving method and nothing besides that for the UCS plaque, for example. I've heard the argument from them for not printing pieces when it's in playsets and sets 10 and above, because then they say, well, the children do not care that much about it, and it would just get damaged quicker. But then at the same time, like this is a 10 plus set. You printed some elements already. It's clear to see that this is not actually a playset. And in my opinion, at least when you have it in front of you, when you have it up in at the shelf at the toy store, I'm not exactly sure if you can see it that well. So that's something to criticize. And also, the build itself, as I wanted to mention earlier already, will not be the most fun for most children, in my opinion. As at least if I think back at my own childhood and what I appreciated building and what I thought was not that fun to build, um, it becomes clear to me that this would probably not be the most enjoyable set, just because it's so much of the same color and it's just layering. It's just basically like if you would be building a landscape and just put it into it being a figurine instead of a landscape. Like this back here, like basically all of the rope is just like if you build a desert strip of something. Like, to be honest, like if you build a diorama, it's very similar in terms of building style. um, what else can I mention about this? For yeah, what I definitely wanted to mention was seeing how much this was going for. So let me just look that up. Maybe not in this window, but just in the side window. Let's see. So it is 80 euros. It's still available. This is 80 euros for 1073 parts. Yeah, it's actually quite okay in terms of price to piece ratio. But like I mentioned earlier, also I'm sometimes talking about it, but it does not have the biggest impact. Like price to piece ratio is nice to know, but it is an overall um, number to keep in mind, but not the only reason you should base your buying decision on. Um, but I also want to mention I did not pay 80 euros for this. I think I paid around. Let me just see. I think I had this up somewhere. Um, Let me see how much this is going for right now, actually, because I like to give you proper numbers. Mhm. Just a second. Let's see. So, we actually paid, I think, a little bit more, but now it's actually going for 58 euros. And for example, Smith Toys, for 58 euros, I can definitely recommend this set. It's also probably, by the way, going to reach end of lifetime pretty soon, because it has been released 2020 and probably will be phased out at least next year. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the end of this year. I have not checked that for this set, so I don't wanna talk about it like I would know. know it perfectly. I would just guess it, because usually with these sort of sets, 2 years to 3 years is the maximum amount. If you look at Yoda and R2D2, it's kind of fitting. And also because I think BB-8 or some, no, not BB-8, I think some sort of other droid is coming out, which was also in one of the PlayStation and Xbox games that um where the droid was featured. So I think it's a rather high possibility that the child will be phased out of the Lego sortiment by then, or close afterwards, which makes this a great set actually to get at the moment. And in my opinion, also, I can recommend this a lot. Like, not that much if you want to play with Lego, but I probably am not the right kind of person to talk about playsets too much. I'm honestly just in this hobby for collecting, and just because I very much enjoy relaxing while building this. But in my opinion, it's actually great value for the price. You get a wonderful display model, and I actually think this is one of the best display models that I've built in a long time. Um, you are getting not only a great display model, you're getting a build which lasts you, at least I would say, if you're a fast builder and you are not streaming while you're doing it, you will very likely be around like 2 hours, more likely, or like 1.5 to 2 hours probably. Whereas, just because I was also talking and sometimes a little bit ranting in this video, um, I've reached around 3 hours. So I think the amount of time you get for your money is okay-ish for what you are getting. Um, it is a lovely display piece, like I mentioned. So I think it's really great in this sort of a way. Other than that, um, it's probably also good for parting out. Actually, if I think about it, for 58 euros, you're getting over 1,000 parts, which is actually a good ratio, especially for Lego Star Wars. Like, Lego Star Wars has such a bad price per piece ratio that it's just a kind of a meme at this point. But um, it's it is what it is. So we we have to be happy when there's actually a set that is not um overpriced as terribly. Well, it originally was 80 euros, and it still is on Lego's website. By the way, you can buy it on Lego.com too, which I really do not recommend doing for full price when you can buy it at other retail stores for much cheaper. Um, for around 60 euros, I can definitely recommend this set. As a final thought, I would just recommend maybe splitting it either up, or maybe parting it with a loved one of yours that also likes to build, because, well, it's just a bunch of modular parts anyway. And if you just use online instructions, everybody can build on their own device, for example, or one can use the instruction manual, the other one can use the PDF online. And then I think it would be even more enjoyable, because, like I mentioned, the build itself, especially the lower part of this, is not really the biggest fun for most people probably, but the finished result is just awesome. And I know there's a lot of people in the Lego community saying that the building experience is the most important part for them. So I'm just giving this out as a little warning for this set, because, well, the building experience will not be your best experience. It will be great once you are finished, because it's just a cute model, but the experience itself is a little bit, how should I say? It is, yeah, it is just a lot of the same sort of building style. So, Um, other than that, I actually very much enjoyed my time today with all of you guys. I very much hope that you did too, at least to a certain degree. I'm always super happy for anybody that is tuning into this stream slash videos. Um, and just as a little thing to mention at the end, um, I am super super grateful for anybody that is following or subscribing to my channels, because it really helps me out a ton. And yeah, I just love creating content for you guys, and I'm super happy if somebody actually enjoys it. So if you are, and you, or if you're not, and you think I'm doing something very wrong, then please always feel free to hit me up in the comments, and like leave a comment there, or like participate in the chat, because I very much want to improve my presentation and my content, so to actually produce something that is nice to watch for you guys, you know. And besides that, I want to thank all of you for participating today. I'm looking forward to the next stream, where we will probably build something a little bit smaller, to not reach the 3 hour mark again. And other than that, I wish all of you guys a great evening, day, or morning. I'm not exactly sure um, which time it is for you. For me at the moment, it is 6:21 in the morning, so that's a good time to call it quits, I would say. And just as a quick show around before we finish our stream, I'm just gonna turn it around one more time. And with little smiling Grogu, I also want to wish all of you a great evening, and I hope to see you in the next stream or video. Goodbye, guys.